who do you think is the greatest footballer of all time? And I've got Messi or Ronaldo as the two because I think it's not really between anyone else at all. But out of them two, who do you think's the GOAT?
I think it's Messi. I think it was Messi, but I could hear the Ronaldo arguments. But after the World Cup, I think
it's hard to really argue with it.
You can't.
Yeah. With me, on that whole topic, Messi's a lot more of a naturally gifted footballer than Ronaldo, and I've got nothing but respect for Ronaldo because he's obviously put in a lot of work to get where he is. I'm not saying Messi hasn't, but it comes more naturally to Messi in terms of his footballing ability, whereas Ronaldo's like peak physical specimen.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Sometimes I question if that's actually true. I know Messi's got the skills and stuff, but he's been playing football since he was a kid as well and worked to build up. He's just not got the attributes in a physical sense. But just because Ronaldo's bigger physically doesn't mean that Messi's not worked as hard to gain the.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. It's. I mean, if you look at his physique, if like Pixar were to do a footballer, it would look like Cristiano Ronaldo. But I just think, like I say, overall, naturally, Messi is. He's a pure footballer. I think Ronaldo is the greatest goal scorer of all time because his numbers are up there and he can score pretty much every sort of goal.
I don't know.
Look at his numbers.
Yeah. Messi's not far off and he's played a lot less games.
True, but I just think Ronaldo goal scorer.
I think the whole hard work thing is a narrative that was created by Ronaldo fans to try and give Ronaldo a bit more. I mean, I'll give him his flowers. He is Mr. Champions League.
Yeah.
Like his Champions League record is.
I feel like
Messi
he's
out the water.
Probably the biggest clutch player of all time.
Do you know, I've got a couple of facts here for you boys, which kind of goes into what you just said, Simon.
Just kicked off in the game.
Yeah, just kicked off in Arsenal City. Need to keep an eye on that. But in their career, right, Messi has had 721 goals and 344 assists in 887 games. And Ronaldo has had 726 goals and 231 assists in 978 games. So he's played about 100 more games, but only has 5 more goals and 100 less assists.
I think you've got to look at the teams that they've been a part of as well. You know, honestly, Messi's obviously been part of Barcelona for the vast majority of his career. I mean, I know he's moved on now. He's at PSG for a little bit. Man United, obviously Ronaldo was at Man United. He started off at Sporting, didn't he?
Yeah. He was barely at Sporting though. He was only there for
it was only a couple of games.
Again, I don't know about that. I mean, like Messi was part of an unbelievable Barcelona squad, but that Barca team that he was at before he left was
it dropped off.
It was falling off a little bit. And Ronaldo's been part of some. I mean, that team at United that he was part of was unbelievable. Yeah. And then that Madrid team that won three Champions Leagues in a row was absolutely unreal. Yeah. I mean, everyone says that Barca team was one of the best ever, but that Madrid team was up there as well, easily.
That Madrid team is one of the best of all time. And it was, I mean, at Juventus as well. Juventus at that point when he was there were by far the best team.
His goal returns for that Juventus when he went to Italy was nuts. He just went in for a few years, broke all the records, and just said, "Right, I'm off."
Yeah. I think. What do you think of the argument of that in terms of Ronaldo playing in better leagues apparently and having done it in more countries? Do you think that's a valid reason to?
Yeah, I think he's got one up on Messi on that. To be honest, I think to go to those clubs and to essentially be one of their greatest ever players. I'd say like Madrid, Juventus and United would probably put them in there near their all-time 11 maybe, I don't know, but could Messi have done that? You never know, do you?
I mean, he did okay at PSG. His numbers were actually quite good, but not as amazing as people probably expected them to be, but he's in a team that was obviously Mbappe.
I think that's probably the only negative that you've got on Messi in his career is that he couldn't get that PSG team to the Champions League when he had, obviously himself. Then you had Neymar and Mbappe, and they brought in a lot of players. They brought in Donnarumma, Ramos that summer. They brought in
a solid 11, wasn't it, really?
So that's probably the only thing that you could say about Messi is that he wasn't able to get that PSG team to the Champions League and win it. But
he got Argentina to the World Cup.
And that's what I mean. And you actually look at that 11 in comparison to say like France's starting 11 and even England's. And you'd look at it on paper. I know it's obviously got Messi, but you take Messi away from that team, and it's not a very threatening side at all, is it? So he's done that on the biggest stage of all.
Another factor that I found really interesting. Obviously, you guys mentioned the Champions League, and I know Ronaldo has more overall goals, but both Messi and Ronaldo have been the top scorer of the Champions League, the whole competition, 6 times each. So they've kind of equal in that front. But then obviously Messi has 7 Ballon d'Ors compared to Ronaldo's 5. So that's kind of a statement in itself. But I mean, I suppose Ronaldo's won the Euros with Portugal though.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty impressive
Messi
feat.
won the Copa
Won the Copa America as well, yeah.
with Argentina.
No, I totted up both players what I classed as major trophies. So that's like the main cup in the country, the league, and then Champions Leagues or European competitions, etc. And in total, Messi has won 33 major trophies and Ronaldo's on 24. But again, it comes back to the argument of Ronaldo's got 3 Premier Leagues, 2 Serie A's, 2 La Ligas, 5 Champions Leagues, and then a couple of Spanish Cups, FA Cups, League Cups and stuff. Whereas the majority of Messi's...
Very close from City there.
City on the attack with Ake.
He's got a score, really, hasn't he?
Misses a pretty easy chance, really.
It's not who you'd want to be there.
that.
Yeah, there you go. Of all people on City's team that you'd want to be in that position, he's probably one of the last. God.
Oof. A good clearance from, was it Gabriel?
I think it was Rice on the line.
Or was it Rice?
His back's against the wall stuff from Arsenal.
Yeah, if that was pretty much any other player other than Ake, you'd expect him to be at least getting that one on target.
Good keeping from Raya, to be fair, to put him under pressure.
Yeah, it was Rice in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think since the World Cup, it's game over. It's Messi for me personally. I think it was Messi the whole time, really. But there was always that argument of, well, you know, they'd both done it, everything the same up until that World Cup, and yeah.
Well, do you know what? I actually fully agree. I think it's weird if anyone debates whether Messi's the greatest of all time at this point. Like, some people might try to say like Pele or Maradona or something, but Messi has literally won everything there is to win in the game, and I think he's part of the reason football has grown to the point it is now, if that makes sense. Like, his skill and the eyes he's brought to it.
I think I get what you're saying. I think him and Ronaldo have that rivalry between the two.
It made it so interesting for everyone for years.
But he hasn't won everything that he's played in. He didn't win the French Cup when he was in PSG.
Did he not?
No.
Damn,
So.
he's going to lose sleep over that one.